Hello, everyone. Great to see you. Happy Friday. I'm here with my friend MJ. Hi, MJ.
Hi, Janine.
So, we both have extensive experience improvising our way to success. And I think this is an important topic. I encourage anyone watching this to check out James Altucher. Um, his book Skip the Line, as well as his email newsletters and prolific content, actually kind of got me on the right track, because I think that improvising is a mindset. But I think this is an important topic for us to share with people, because I think it's easy to make assumptions about what you can and cannot do based on what other people say. And emotionally, it can feel challenging to leave the pack. Like, animals don't leave the pack, but I mean, human beings can. So, I mean, there's some big changes that need to happen in order to kind of be in this mindset. And I think, MJ, this perfectly segues into what you were talking about with your experiences.
Yeah, I think first and foremost, just even starting with the definition of improv and what that actually means. So it's made up actions, right? It's basically made up actions on the spot, right? And so before we actually hit the live button, what I was explaining is, you know, um, being in corporate for 15 years and deciding to jump ship in February of 2019, um, I felt like there was little to no improv in terms of just going with the flow, right? Being in corporate, just going along, following the program. And as I mentioned, there was a little space to actually do that and focus on the things that I felt I wanted to create and be a part of. But for the majority of the time, it was more or less my time being spent inside of spaces. And, I mean, I'm working a 9 to 5. So you're in a space where you just have to do what you're tasked to do, right? According to your role within that company. But once I left, I have been improvising. I have been doing it. I have been, some things have definitely had strategy, they've had strategy behind it. But for the most part, because I'm new to the space of tech, I'm experimenting. And this is something that we've talked about before. I'm experimenting. I am improvising. I am using my own power to get to and achieve the things that I want to achieve. So,
Yeah, that's really powerful, MJ. And yes, a lot of these themes, have been really important in terms of experimenting. When I think about improvising, I mean, I think that my path, and frankly, from what I know from you as well, I mean, and I think this is true for most entrepreneurs, that it's sort of a winding road to kind of end up in one specific situation that takes off. And I think one of the best lessons that I've learned is to stop thinking about my own career the way that people in a corporate job think about their career. Because, yeah, I mean, if you're in corporate and you're kind of like floundering around between different things, like, that's going to affect your money, because, like, as you said, MJ, it's about showing up and doing the tasks. And it's like these tasks lead to like manager tasks, and manager equals more money. If you're not doing the tasks right, then you don't get to be a manager with more money. But it's like, so if you try to explain what you and I are doing, or have, I mean, I remember, like, in the throes of it, I mean, I sort of pride myself, and at this point, like, my business and like my situation makes enough sense and like has enough traction that people are not like, so are you getting another job now? Like, when I first left, like it didn't make any sense. Like I had to believe in myself enough. And I mean, it's just, there have been a lot of different things. It's like, now I'm doing this, now I'm doing this. And I went through a lot of that before I really invested in my own brand. And I
Mhm.
think that path, that kind of winding road, was obviously key in kind of my realization that building my own brand and my own business is the best move for me.
Mhm. Mhm.
And I think that the important thing is that I've been able to keep friends and like make and invest in friendships along the way with these different things. But what I realized when I started talking to people who actually are entrepreneurs, not only is it not a bad thing to try different stuff and like fail a lot of times, like this is the quote unquote like correct path. I mean, yes, if your first business you ever tried took off, great for you. But like
Right.
that's so not most people.
Yeah.
That it's like I've gotten like positive feedback
Mhm.
around like, good, you tried stuff, you like learned about yourself. So go ahead, MJ, you must have something.
Yeah. So you bring up a really good point in terms of just the trying and again experimenting and the learning. The learning lessons that come with the failures, right? Because to be quite honest, when it comes to being an entrepreneur and building businesses or a business, right? First time it may not work, second time it may not work, third time it may not work. But as long as you are continuously getting up and trying and not beating yourself down and not giving up, right? Just because it may not work. It
The
may
first
not
time,
work
the
the
second
first
time, the 10th time. Oh my
It
gosh, you know what? I have
may.
to shout out. So an Entra is shout out to Entra, really important in my own development. Entra was really heavy on events, on online events when COVID first hit, and they had Jeremy Levine from Bessemer Ventures. He's a venture partner there. And someone asked him about his greatest story of grit. And he talked about a founder whose 11th company made
Mm,
him rich. Now, what do you think his friends and family were saying by company five?
yeah, like you need to get probably like it's time for you to get a real job. Like it's time for you to just wrap things up and no. I could only imagine what his friends and family were thinking, right? Because man, and even just the pressures of that, right? When you are starting out, or when you're in it and you have family and friends that have decided to take more of the traditional route, and you're sticking out like a sore thumb doing something else, right? But even with that, it's like, man, if your passion is to um, grow, build, and be in business, like you have to do what you want to do. So another thing, just when it comes to like just improvising your way to success, I think that the listening skills, bettering your listening skills plays a huge portion of part of that, right? Again, to go back to knowing your power, but the listening skills are going to be key to improvising because at when you are really listening and focusing and you're willing to serve, you will hear during those conversations where you can add value, where you can serve. If your listening skills um, are intact and you are really paying attention to, um, you know, the spaces or the opportunities that are being presented to you. So I'll pause there because I want to know what.
Yeah, you know what, MJ? I think this is a good time to go ahead and recap some of these points.
Okay.
I guess we can give some main pointers around this. So I'll take some,
Okay.
from what both of us said, and then you can add to that. I think that's going to be helpful to have all of the pointers in one, and then we can sign off till next time. So knowing your power, super important. Listening skills, yes. And to think in terms of reasons, impacts, and capabilities. So what are the reasons I could be impactful? What impact is it I could have? And what are my capabilities? You need to listen to figure those things out.
Yes.
So knowing your power, the listening skills, the relationships, because if you are building friendships, you can't fail, because each time you're finding people who are going to be part of your future success.
Yes.
And you can't do it without them. And then the other thing, MJ, that I've been thinking about that I think kind of sums up a lot of what we've said, or maybe not said, but I've thought, but also just how you and I and our friend Bonnie, who couldn't make it today, how we all operate. I've been thinking about this concept, burning the ships, if you know what that means. Like, you're going into battle and you've burned the ships that you arrived on. So like, winning is your only option. And it's like, because of these other opinions, it can be hard to get to that mindset where you're burning the ships. But I mean, I'm there, like, I'm doing this.
Yes.
I
absolutely love that concept. I love it, because it's like, I think sometimes when you are doing things, and sometimes you can be just deathly afraid of doing things, right? But I think, when you're getting into the game and you're playing the game, you have to remove the different options. Sometimes you have to remove the different options. So the concept of burning the ship is like, I came here to win. There's no going back. We're not turning around. We are about to win in whichever space we choose to play in. We're coming for it all. We're coming for it all. We know what power we're operating out of, and it's good. It's good. We're here to serve. We're here to add value, but we are not playing. We're winners, man. We are winners. Especially just I heard this, and I know we're gonna go, but one of the things that I was listening to a podcast, and this young lady, she was just explaining just who she was. The question was, who are you? And she said, I am a woman. I am a wife. I'm a warrior, and I'm a winner. And I felt that to the core, because I'm like, that's me. Those are my 4 W's right now, right?
Wait, say them again. Say them again.
Yes, I am a woman. I am a wife. I am a warrior, and I am a winner.
That's awesome.
That's me. So when you have that interaction with MJ, trust me, that's how I'm showing up. Especially with the warrior mentality. That's where the fitness, that's where that play comes into, that athlete, being that athlete, going into the gym. That's where that warrior piece comes into play. So, yeah.
You know what, MJ? I've been thinking about, I said this to Bonnie the other day too. I've been thinking about how my mentor, David Meltzer, he said the other day that frequency is a neighborhood. And like, we are definitely neighbors, because like, I'm definitely feeling it. Like,
it's go time.
I know.
It's go time.
We burned the bridges. We're doing it. I mean, the ships, not the bridges. I'm sorry. We burned the ships. We burned the ships. and we burned any bridge back to lesser options. Those are the okay bridges and ships to burn. Yeah. Not the ones you need, but the turning back side of things.
That's right.
Burn the ships. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, so great to see everyone today. Thank you, MJ. I'm going to sign us off, but of course, we will be back at noon on Thursday. That is the forum, and we will be on Zoom networking, talking about how the current macroeconomic climate is affecting early stage fundraising. That discussion will be on Zoom, which you can find through the Eventbrite, the link to sign up. That will be a private discussion on 5, but we'll see you back here on LinkedIn and YouTube at noon on May 12th. Awesome. And then we'll network at 5 that day, May 12th. Great, everyone. See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.